Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, the new standard in video game excellence. Welcome to May 1982, where we last played Saturn Patrol for the TRS-80. Gotta love that TRS-80. Oh, only $800. Let's go ahead and get one now. Let's see what else May has in store for us. Next is the latest issue of Softline magazine, where we get the updated information on what's happening in the world, mostly of Apple II, because we got Sierra Online that helps publish it. So this is issue 1.5. Let's take a look at Softline. The ad on the left side was for Tron, which is all over the trailers at the time when this came out, and it's in the arcades already too. And this is what they graced the cover. The May 1982 issue of Softline has Tron on the front. Electronic Games star in Disney flick. Oh yeah. Let's breeze through the ad by Penguin Software, showing off some Apple graphics. Lots of stuff involving Apple, mostly with this. Not all the Spectrum phone computers, but Apple II is still on top as one of the best computers out there. The complete graphic system and special effects. Take a look at those special effects. Yeah. Oh, nice. And we're going to breeze by the table of contents because we'll be hitting on pretty much everything that Softline has. And when they break down our next section, which is Direct Line, it is all letters sent in by other people. The first one is this person reading the March issue of Softline. They say that they highly praised Nasir Gabelli for Horizon 5. He says he has a copy of it, but the letter made it sound like the best game that's ever come in for the Apple. It's a good game, but after about 20 or 30 minutes, it's easy and boring. Whoa, dude, you just lambasted Nasir Gabelli. You don't do that. Everyone has their opinion, even if it's a bad one. But there you go. He's saying Horizon 5 is your game if you're amused for 20 or 30 minutes. Whoa, man, you got to calm down. Yeah, that's true. The prices for computers, depending on what time period we are, like in 1982, yeah, that's true. It's probably still expensive. Funny that you're saying it's expensive now. If I was going to buy an Apple II just outright, for all those ancient collectors out there. And then we have letters written in that don't have answers. So people are asking for help with Cranston Manor. I need to find the platinum sphere out of the computer room in Cranston Manor, but they don't really have the answer for you there. Oh yeah, Apple's always been, that's true. When we talk about the new Apple, I was talking about buying a vintage Apple II, but yes, everything Apple now is still the primo expensive hardware. And our little letters we have here is people talking about the letter they had last time about software piracy. And whoever this is, Steven Greenberg, says unauthorized copying or software is simply theft. He's very much against the copying. Probably doing copying under the table, just saying. And our next ad is Funtastic. This is an ad for Datamost, which every title I believe here we've seen. Snack Attack, Thief, Casino, and County Fair. Very well done titles by Datamost. And it goes on a lot more. We have some more writing about the copyright, and it's a big deal, copyright protection in computers at the time. You can see that they found out about the Casey Munchen lawsuit, which is people copying for other mediums, because we've seen pretty much the history since we started the channel was an arcade game comes out. It's a very popular arcade game. And as soon as the arcade game comes out, the first time we see any variance is on the home computer. And they're sometimes really close to what's in the arcade. But then sometimes they take a few liberties, do something different. But then after that, then we get the official releases later on console. And now we haven't actually seen the official release of Pac-Man for the computer by Atari Soft. So one that's sanctioned by Namco hasn't even come out yet. We've seen plenty and plenty of copies, though. And then our next letter is about the high score that someone did at Crossfire that seemed to be way too high. I'm with you on that. I enjoy seeing the ads in the magazine to show you what kind of things you bought at the time. I would say to believe I don't think the hardware they display here is the best that you can get. I mean, look over here, the Selectaport, it sounds good, but really how reliable was this when you're buying, it says Apple compatible. That's kind of a big giveaway. Was it something that would be quality hardware, or was it just trying to get you to cash in on something that sounds good for the time? All right, so again, going through more ads, this is Gold Disc. They have lots of different things. There it is, the joystick, the TG products. We've seen that one, the joystick before, and a few other different hardwares you can pick up. Look at that. And the digital clock, those are really nice. May 1982, got to get one of those. Our next ad is for Laugh Pack. Good games are no laughing matter. Another one by Chuckles. This one I think is still, Online Systems, because they help publish the magazine. Now, Laugh Pack, we haven't played. I looked this up after I was reviewing the magazine. Laugh Pack, we didn't even check out. It's supposed to be 1981 when it came out. And here's the deal. Usually whenever they classify computer games, it's not as simple as consoles. You can't just say, here's all the titles that came out for the console. It's really easy to collect for something like the Nintendo Entertainment System, but when you want to collect for computers, it's a totally different ballgame because they come in categories. You have the software, applications that are for the system that have nothing to do with games. Then you also have firmware, basic packages, operating system that comes out. And then you also have a whole different genre of educational titles because computers go way beyond what consoles do with educational titles. And then sometimes they even break them apart with compilations. And so Laugh Pack, because it's multiple games in one, it was categorized as a compilation. And I wasn't doing it because, I figured, we'll do all the other games in the compilation. But no, we'll have to be checking this one out soon after the magazine. I have it linked, so we will play it. But it's one of those another rare times that I see a game and I'm like, wait a second, why have we never played this? It's all new games, kind of like Bill Budge's trilogy of games. It's a compilation, but you can't get the games anywhere else. They're only in that one pack. And that's what Laugh Pack is. Totally new games. And it's by Chuckles, so it's got to be good. But we'll see. And we breezed down, they're still going on about the high scores of Threshold. Yes. Lots of people writing in. They don't have really a lot of answers. Okay, this one does, as far as in closing the show. Okay, it's about the high score. Missed Volume 1 in closing $2. Please send enjoy the magazine very much. And then this one person says, Pegasus 2 is a great game except for one thing. The bombs and lasers are controlled by the A and S keys. I'm open to suggestions, but can we get the paddle control? Even back then they're complaining about the controls. I'm sure the A and S keys work great, but can you guys get this to work with paddle controls? I'm saying that now. We have games that would play really good if they had paddle or joystick support. And then we have another person needing help with High-Res Adventure 3. How do you get past the pink purple bull? Someone answer now. Just a hint would be fine. And then another ad for Ports and Port Authority. All this most likely Apple II. I believe this is strictly going to be Apple II. Every now and then we'll get sales for other computers, but it's pretty much going to be Apple II here. Here's an ad for Threshold, another giant one, Online Systems. It's an all right title for the time. Space shooter. And our next section is Adventures in Adventuring. From here to there and back again. It even has a drawn-out map. Lots of people drew maps when they were playing adventure games. We ourselves haven't drawn our own map, but I have done that myself. Whenever a game gets large enough, you want to have a map to explain where to go, especially if it's an interactive fiction game. So this article is by Ken Rose, and this is explaining an adventure game that he created and how you can understand how to program the game and also play the game. They give examples here with the game that you can type in the magazine. Just load that into your Apple II and play some adventure games. Nice. Yeah, so it breaks down a really simple adventure game that you can check out. I believe the name is From Here. Is it From Here to There or Back Again? Okay, yeah, this is a text adventure game that is an homage to Alice in Wonderland. Or similar to that, if you wanted to. We do play some games that you type in here on the channel, but it's not every single game. If we did that, we would still be in 1978, probably. Of all the games we've seen up to this point. Yeah, there it is. A Voyage to the Planet Pincus is what it is. And it breaks down some of the code, what it means, helping the developers out there make even more games. Please stop. There's already so many games that we play that are commercially released. And this year has, over 2,500. It's just going to get more and more as time goes on. Here's an ad for Falkland Island. A totally different take on the shooter genre. Obviously playing on the Falkland Islands. The game has nothing to do with that, though. Even though the background advertisement has the Falkland Islands. So, I don't understand. And as we go down to the next section, still reading on about the adventure game. We have a few game controllers there. Paddles, push buttons, nice. How reliable were they? If you were around the time or a fan of Apple II, let me know if any of these controllers were good, because I wouldn't expect them to be very good. Oh, the Creative Computing magazines, yeah. Oh gosh, I hope Yeah, that's one reason why I have a select few magazines that I read, so there's not a exorbitant amount of information, and we can get right to games. This kind of gets you in the mindset of the culture and feel of gaming in 1982. All right, next section is Game Line. This is what we want. What is new? What's coming out? The biggest one is the first one, Knight of Diamonds, the sequel to Wizardry. They say that this is explaining how do you make a sequel to an exceptional game. And so they explain that the sequel to Wizardry is essentially an add-on or an improvement to Wizardry. It's what we might consider a DLC or an addendum, not so much as Dungeon Quest, how they do their packs, but Knight of Diamonds is still a really big one. That's true. Someone in the comments, Chiptune, told me about the Cassette 50 that's coming out on computers in Europe. It's basically a package of 50 games that are all terrible. At least I've heard. I don't know how many of the 50 will play, but I'm going to be showing that one, and that just sparks how many more we're going to get to. We'll just be pumping through fast. Here's the game. Okay, next. Here's the game. Okay, next. All right, so Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord was exceptional, and here is the sequel, which we'll be seeing soon. I wonder how they get this, because I heard it wasn't out yet. So who's playing that? Okay, this is by them. Okay, so this is them probably making the game. Greenberg and Woodhead. So this is telling us about what's about to happen. Only one can wonder the amazing duo for the next scenario. Okay, so it's not out yet, but a good preview of Wizardry 2. Yes. Worthy of the type in from the magazine. Yes, they are not. And then their next review is Caverns of Mars, a game that came out fairly recent. We played it with the first iteration, and then it was released several times after that. We're going to see this quite a bit. It eventually gets a cartridge release too. But Caverns of Mars is exceptional. Very good game for the time. Still giving high marks for it. And as usual, the reviews don't have a rating system. They just say what it is. This guy just says, this game's great. You'll find it difficult to tear yourself away. Yeah, it's great. Ray Bradbury's Mars was never this much fun. Very apropos. Okay, so we got A2PB1 Pinball, which is a initiative based from the Japanese. Okay, this is cool. They're talking about Bill Budge because he did Raster Blaster, and he's elevated himself to the position of premier programmer in the Apple market. Wow, Bill Budge. High marks on Bill Budge here. At least they're giving him... Yes, I know. There's lots of spoilers because we know the future, and so whenever something was brought up earlier about Lode Runner, and I was like, what's Lode Runner? We don't know what that is. We're trying to pretend that it's made 1982 and we know nothing else. So they break it down a few other pinball games, comparing them to the PB1 Pinball. Now, by Bruce Artwick, I'm not familiar. This is one we might be playing later, but we have checked out Raster Blaster and Midnight Magic. Excellent pinball simulation or video pinball for the home computer. But they call this A2PB1 because it's an homage to the A2FS1 flight simulator. The very first, one of the first times that you could play the Microsoft Flight Simulator before it was officially called the Microsoft Flight Simulator. But it is the best one out there. And that was 79, I believe that one came out. Yes, the flight sim. Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Leading the flight simulator revolution. All right, so after that game, then they talk about the Graphics Magician, which complete sets of programs in it, animation, picture. So it's more of an application, so we won't be touching on that one. Cool that it's there, though. And then we also have Tumblebugs, which is another one next. It's a maze game that we haven't seen yet, but we will be seeing this one soon. And again, I'm not sure if it's the review that it's out now or if it will be coming out. But we will be checking out Tumblebugs. However, on the left side, by Larry Miller, Minotaur is a game that we didn't have. This one was lumped in with the Theseus or the Golden Fleece and the Minotaur. But Minotaur itself is a completely different game for the Apple II. And another one almost forgotten. So I added that one in. We'll be checking that one out soon. I think it's 81 that end of 81 is when Minotaur came out. And next is Zork 2. Better... I wouldn't say better than Zork 1. It's all part of the same package. The original Zork was mainframe, and then they broke it into 3 parts. But Zork 2 is still one of the best interactive fiction games you could play for the time. There it is. Yes. Join the Zork users group. Invisiclues booklets. And whenever we checked out Zork here on the channel, we saw the Invisiclues booklet with tips and tricks. Because Infocom wants to give you all those feelies in the box. So much fun. All right, our next ad is... Type it at the computer. Yeah, modem gamesmanship. Hooking up your computer to other computers. And the way that they're advertising it here is you're going to use your modem to connect to get answers and help with games. This is the bulletin board source. So it's talking about BBSs or connecting to BBSs to get answers and help. You can see advice from the game Lorne. People playing adventure games that want answers and help. You can do it now on the bulletin board system. It's the beginning. Didn't mess with bulletin boards until early 90s, but here they are. They've already taken hold, and it's been there for a while. We've even seen 1 or 2 games that are from BBSs, but this is kind of cool that they bring them up here. All right, so games from the source, and it also talks about adventure games that you can play, like the old school ones, Hunt the Wumpus and Quest, Adventure, things like that. And they have the basic strategic games you can pick up. All this by connecting your telephone. So crazy. Oh, Wiley, the first time you went on BBS 82. Now, when would you say officially they began? Was it late 70s or early 80s? Because we've only had a few things that have happened from 81, but I can't really pinpoint the exact time you could say it launched. Because the idea of online or connecting your phone line and then talking to people or reaching out to find games or information, that's been around for a while. But it was usually localized to colleges and stuff. Oh yeah, late 70s. Oh, TRS-80 Model 1, nice. Yeah, I figured it'd been around for a while. All right, our next ad is Queen of Phobos, another one we checked out, a graphic adventure game. Pretty good for the time. Are you skilled enough to outwit the race to recover the famed Mast of Cthulhu from the bowels of the ship? A space-inspired game. Oh gosh, I bet they were expensive. I don't even want to know. Because connecting in the 90s, whenever I used modems, they already were, I remember the 28.8 was $400, $500 for the time. It's crazy. Oh, it's true. You did pay, and I believe they say something here. It depends on where you're connecting from. They don't have cost here. Yeah, they don't mention it in the article. I'd be interested to know. I wouldn't expect it to be free. All right, so after Queen of Phobos, let's scroll down to our next spot, which is the Time Zone Repository, which is getting help with Sierra Online's Time Zone. Time Zone is what they claim, the largest game or adventure game at the time. It is $100 still in 1982. And it's Roberta Williams, Sierra Online, just doing a massive graphic adventure game. I believe 200-something screens or 400-something screens. It's just large. And so this is telling you about how long it takes to play and getting some help on that one. And the next one is about graphics. Got another joystick that's Apple compatible. Lots of joysticks. Psst, you want to deal on Apple software? There we go. All the price points, kind of hard to read those, but you can see the difference between software that's an application and then or business software, and then something you're going to play as a game. Like Olympic Decathlon is $30, but if you want to get was VisiCalc, yeah, VisiCalc's $250 still for the time. Gosh, that's amazing. Whoa, $700? Yeah, the 110 or 300. Wow, I can't believe how expensive that is. And that would have been what it was then, not now. Okay, next article we're going to breeze by. This is the future in education. As usual, anything educational, it's great they did it. Applause, applause to everything educational. But we're not going to be too interested in that. They have a few things that you can see on the side right above my shoulder. Peachy Writer, Happy Face, Dinosaurs, Aquarium, and Physics series. All for the kids. And the learning environment of the Apple II, they have to hit on it because there's other magazines and other companies trying to be educational, because if you get to the kids and get them hooked on the system and the computer and used to using that system and computer, then they're sold forever. Apple knows that too. There's an ad by Art Computing. We go down next to CalSoft Software. Shows you what kind of businesses they're selling. Avant-Garde, Microlab. Hey, Sirius got a few there. Gorgon, Beer Run was done by Sirius Software. $30 for Beer Run. Wow. And then Online Systems got a lot there. Where is Time Zone? Is it? Yeah, it's still $100. Oh my gosh. Hasn't changed in the last few months. Yeah, you can see just getting an idea of what the prices were like to buy some computer games back then. And our next article is on Tron. How they got the information, I'd like to know, because the movie hasn't come out yet. It comes out in July of 1982. So here we go in the May issue. Tron, Disney takes computer games to the outer limit. Nice artwork from Tron. Yeah, where'd they get the shots? Did Disney help them out? Look at that. Pictures from the movie as well. That's pretty cool. Breaking down the magic of the movie. They see the Tron trailers are parked 3 deep in the lot of Walt Disney Studios. Oh, okay, so they must have got this because Walt Disney must be selling this at Walt Disney Studios or possibly in Disneyland and Disney World. So cool. So they're getting ready to let you know about the movie. And this is a rare time, kind of before the big kick of licensing games, that they are blending and the video game world is combining with the movie world. We've kind of already done that unofficially with Star Wars and Star Trek games, but this is where a new movie is coming out that is based on video games or the video game world, and they're going to make video games out of it. And they tie them together, and then cha-ching, the money starts printing itself. Micro movie madness. This one also has a lot of special effects that were really impressive for the time, and they talk about those as well. Man, Tron was pretty big. Yeah, they talk about how they designed the game, and then they use quotes from other movies. A dream is a wish your heart makes. For Tron. Thanks, Tron. I always got to remind myself that's Disney. Doesn't feel like Disney. Different world. But it was a different time for Disney at that point. All right, next is our article by Ken Williams. He always does something with Apple II graphics, and this was all about animation. How to animate on the Apple II. Thank you so much, Ken Williams, getting developers out there. Please slow down. We are hitting lots of games. You know, on the right side, we have some discounts with the Star Trek Enterprise, because most likely you're a Star Trek fan. It's no coincidence I am. And we can get there. Fast deliveries, nice. Thanks, Ken. More information for us as well. Kind of cool that they show you how to program, and that's one of the reasons someone asked me, why are we getting so many games now compared to what we had before? You get a lot of computers out there, and you got magazine publications showing everyone how to make your own games. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. Yes, that's right. It was the Dark Ages in 82. Oh, right? Losing so many games' lives at the arcades. Yes, so many lives lost. All right, next ad is Deadline. One of the best games you could play at the time, in my opinion. 12 Hours to Find the Murderer, one of the best interactive fiction games. Hey, they even show some of the feelies. All the feelies that's inside the box. Nice touch, Infocom. And what is this over here in the corner? Open the case with $2 front money from, what, $2? Get your Deadline $2 rebate. Ooh, is $2 really that big a deal? I'm not sure. All right, the next article is about Renaissance fairs. Renaissance of role-playing. That's right. I'm guessing they think that a bunch of people that play role-playing games are going to want out and dress for it. Or dress for the Renaissance fair. I read that Renaissance fairs have been popular since the 50s, so it's not like it's a new thing. But I'm wondering, was there an increase in the amount of people going to Renaissance fairs because of role-playing games? I'm looking at you, Wizardry and Ultima. Nobody to know for sure, but here we go. I got some screenshots of, I believe this is the one in California. Where is this one? Simulant event in California. Yeah, so this is, like we said, it's in the Apple II. Yeah, there we go. Agora, California is where they put on this Renaissance fair. Got some screenshots for you. And what was that up here? Did I actually see? Oh, no. Okay, I thought I saw a mythical figure, but no, it's not there. Why is it a video game magazine? Probably because the role-playing fans want to go to the Renaissance Fair. And then we have an ad over here on the right side for Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Now on the Apple II. We have seen it on the Apple II. Not as good as the Atari home computer. That's the one to play. Apple II is all right, but the real gem is on the Atari home computer. Yes. I don't know about nerds, RPG, and fairs. I guess maybe they go hand in hand. Oh, good point. Maybe at the Renaissance Fair, they wouldn't be ideal if they were selling the software, because then it wouldn't be Renaissance-y. Every time I go to a Renaissance Fair, I try to get them to break character. All right, we go to the bottom. We got Sunrise Software telling us about what they have to sell, and then more things to buy, and then the new people in the video game world, Riverbank Software. I don't believe we've seen anything by them. This is Rogers and, oh no, that's the Richard Orban. He wrote 3 Mile Island. Okay, we've seen that one. Cold War and Grand Prix are a few games that they've written. So Riverbank is, I don't believe we've seen that company yet. But things to look forward to as far as computer games go. Yeah, it's all good if you use 16th century monitors. And the next people to the new world of computer and video games is Voyager Software. Another one I don't think we've seen. The crew of Voyager. Not Star Trek Voyager, way before that. You can see it was molded by John Cormack, not John Carmack. They suggested that they start getting a two-man group together, and then bloomed and bloomed until you got Voyager software. They're working on Starship Commander, or they switched to Apple making the Starship Commander game. They also have Battle Trek that's under their market. We'll be checking out those two. And Micro Co-op is a testing software before you buy it ad. That's kind of interesting. And then we just cut right back to Gameline, where we left off. What kind of games are coming out? They left off with playing Zork 2, and then this is Computer Foosball, which I don't think we've seen that one. It is a video representation of foosball, not football. We've seen that before, though. We've seen, I think, 2 or 3, some on console and then some on computer that kind of simulate all the characters moving at once, playing some foosball. And then we have Microwave, which we haven't seen yet. We're going to be checking that one out. It's an eat the dot kind of game, or they're not calling it a maze. Okay, they do say maze, but they're calling it an eat the dot game as the genre. Don't think I've heard that one. They call it a challenging game, quick reactions and trickery maneuvering. If you become bored with a more traditional genre, this could be what you're looking for. How many times do you think you went in a magazine and took the review to heart before you went to the computer store? Or you went to the computer store, saw the game, like you saw Microwave, and you didn't buy it yet. You go back to the magazine. How much really are you going to be reading the article to determine if this is the computer game for you? Here's an ad for Crossfire. We've checked that one out. Pretty fun for the time. And here we got John Harris. Whoa, John Harris, I want your shirt. Classic Frogger shirt, man. Nice. All right, so this is someone who was originally with Atari, and Ken Williams found them. Atari programmer wrote one of their biggest moneymakers, Jawbreaker. And he switched around the gameplay because Jawbreaker was originally going to look a lot like Pac-Man, and then changed it up to something else. All right, so it explains where he was, where he's doing, and what's happening now. Working on the first game, Battle Warp, is what the first thing he worked on. And then Jawbreaker was much too much like Pac-Man. And then, okay, this is all about him, what he's doing now. Moosk Attack is another one, not as successful, which is another one we've checked out. Moosk Attack or Mouse Attack. And then coming soon, we're going to be getting, he's going to be translating Frogger. I wonder if he's the, okay, yeah, so Frogger was brought to us by Online Systems. So he's the one that's going to be programming and getting Frogger, the official Frogger, to home computers. I don't know. After Pacific Coast Highway, that was a really good Frogger variant. All right, sounds good. And then our next ad is for Cannonball Blitz by Olaf Lubeck. Now, if you look at this ad, it's one we saw when we played it. We played Cannonball Blitz, but this really doesn't sell the game at all. In my opinion, Cannonball Blitz is one of the best computer games you could play for the time. It's a Donkey Kong variant, and it changes so many things. It's, in a sense, its own game, but done really well, especially since we haven't really even seen a lot of Donkey Kong games. The classic popular ones that you're used to seeing, like the Gingerbread Man throwing cookies on the Atari VCS, hasn't even come out yet. It's not even here. Oh, that's true. Cornsoft Group is another one that did it as well. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm with you, Mainly Stranger, because when I would read the magazines, that really didn't sell me. For never. The box didn't sell me in the store. It would be, I'd be playing with a friend and then see the game itself, and that's what really was selling me. Olaf Lubeck, author of Gobbler and Pegasus 2. Yeah, I got some good stuff. All right, teamwork and good game playing. Friendship before competition. So this is about playing games where you're going to be, instead of competing against each other, doing co-op games. 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 player games, and playing those like they're talking about Asteroids for the Atari home computer, and how that one was such a big idea because you could have 4 people at the same time working together with the Asteroids. Such a great idea, and one of the best computer games still, I would say. Our next ad is Marauder, which we haven't seen yet. We will be checking out Marauder by Online Systems. Arcade Endeavor, it says. Like a preview of what we'll be seeing. And I believe that's it. The rest is just ads. Trying to get some more game writers there. High score. Oh, yes, the infamous high scores. Looking at who's got the best here. Oh, yeah. And then Quadrant 6112. Another game that I believe we've already seen before. Yeah, Sensible Software. Check that one out. And whenever I say we've seen the game before, you can always check the links down below. The links lead you to every game we played, and you can go right to that game to see. Because it's starting to get to the point where there's so many games we're playing that I'm not remembering everything. I have to go back and reference. It's a lot. All right, so after Softline, good read, getting a preview of what's happening in May 1982, let's press forward and see our next game. Here we are on the TRS-80 again, and this is Solitaire. Let's check out Solitaire. Starting with the information we got. Oh, it's from Softside Magazine, so a type-in game from the May 1982 issue of Softside. And there it is, Solitaire. Alan J. Zett and Rich Bouchard. And it shows the rules. It looks like Klondike is what they're doing. This is the page that you would have seen before the typing in the program, and then I didn't bring the typing section. But let's pop it and play, or type it and play, Solitaire, the beginning of May 1982 by Rich Bouchard, published by Softside Magazine. Solitaire. Are you ready? I don't think we're going to see Billy Mitchell on any lists for a long time. Standard game of Solitaire. Move a piece, enter the number on square into the square you wish to move to. Got it. Ready, set, go. Wait a second. This isn't the right Solitaire. This really isn't. This is supposed to be Solitaire with cards, but this is the Solitaire. Is there another Solitaire that came out in 1982? That's an addition to this. It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, this is not the same Solitaire. It's a totally different game. So what do we do? 19. Let's jump to 17. Yep, jump there. 30, jump to 18. Oh yeah, playing fun. Solitaire. 27, jump to 25. Yeah, that's it. So it is Solitaire, but it's not the Solitaire we were hoping for. So sorry if you got your hopes up. That is not the Softside Magazine one. Well, now I need to put in a shout out. Does anyone know where we can get the Softside Magazine one, aside from going to the magazine and typing it in yourself? We will not do that live on the show. That takes a few minutes, maybe even an hour or so. Well, for the time, though, for playing the Solitaire game like this, and because it was the wrong Solitaire game, I want to say bad. I'm thinking of all the home computers you can play, and I like my arcade games. TRS-80 has some great ones. So we're going to go 1.5 stars for Solitaire. It is a game of Solitaire, not the one we hoped for, but not as good of a game. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Here we go at long last. It's the Coco, and this is Space Merchant. Prophesized by L. Curtis B. that we're going to see a lot of these. Let's take a look at the artwork for Space Merchant. Here's the ad we got by GoSub. Down there at the bottom. Build an empire in the stars. Choose your cargo, means of shipping and security, risk pirates, ion storms, engine failure, and other hazards while you try to become a space merchant. Now it says 1 to 6 players. I'm guessing alternate play, but only $10 if you go by that, and then just a few screenshots. And that's it. Let's pop in and play Space Merchant by Bill Herter on the TRS-80 color computer. Here we go. One of the few ones we have to do commands to type in. So this one is in basic. Space Merc. Not really expecting too much from this one. If it's going to be a merchant trade space game, I'm guessing it's just going to be text. Oh, we have animation. What? I was only expecting text. I think that's all you got. That's as fancy as Space Merchant gets. That's what I'm guessing. So GoSub International Strategy Simulation. Does it really have 6 players? Okay, enter number of players. Oh, 6 doesn't work. You can't do 6 people. Okay, so let's do 4. Wait, no, can we do 5? No, 5 doesn't work. All right, 4. Oh, okay, 4 players. All right, so Chrono's playing. We have to enter 4 different names. Okay. How big can we go? L. Curtis B works. Don works. Just picking everyone last in the chat. There we go. Okay, Doc Worker. Chrono's year 1. You have 500,000 credits. Which planet do you choose? Okay, we played games like this before. It is going to be only text-based. You have to make decisions as if you were running a space business. So what planet do we choose? I don't know. Beta? Your destination will be at Beta. Which cargo will you load? Let's load farm tools. All right, how many units do you want to load? The cost is 750 CPU. Let's do 5 units. So we spent 3,000 credits. All right. Which transport do you want to use? Well, let's use conventional. Shipping charges. So again, we're making decisions, and we've seen this in other business simulation games. You just make the decisions and then see whoever is better at being a futuristic businessman than everyone else. That's only. I figured that was the only graphics it had. How much insurance do you want? Insurance. Let's do 0. Insurance costs none, and I got that many credits left. Do you want security guards? They'll cost you. Sure, I'll do security guards. Got it. When you're ready to take off, press any key. Fly around a war zone. Delay costs you 28%. Oh, dock worker Chronos completed their business for year 1. So in 1 year, you make your decisions. Press any key. Now it moves on to the next player, L. Curtis B. Shows their credits. Let's say they want to go to Planet Alpha. The destination is Alpha. What do they want to load? He's loading furniture. How many units do you want to load? We'll do 9. Costs 4,500. And if you played this with 4 people, if you could get 4 people to play, then you just be hot swapping back and forth on the keyboard. You make your decisions, and then at the end of the game, you see who gets the best business or the most money out of it. So there we go. We saw the cool graphics. We saw Space Merchant. We got the idea. Now, everyone that's here live, what would you say with this game? I don't think you think it's the best video game you could play on a computer at the time, but is it a good or excellent game you could play on a computer at the time? Is it an average game, a usual game you'd play on a computer at the time? Or is it a bad game you'd play on the computer at the time? If you have fun with strategy games or business games, you might like it, but it is just making decisions. That's it. Oh, 2.5. Yeah, I was going to go for bad as well. So, of all the games we've seen up to this point, I'll say 2 stars for Space Merchant. It's bad. It's a bad game. And after that, Space Merchant, let's see where we're going now. Hey, hey. The Emerson Arcadia 2001. I love this commercial.
これがビデオゲームの最新鋭機種だ。スペースミッション、エスケーププラン、ホッピーバーグなどなど、君はこの新しさに遭遇したか。バンダイアルカディア。
Love it. The hype for a system that doesn't even last that long. So this is Space Vultures for the Arcadia Emerson, or the Emerson Arcadia 2001. Depending on what region you're in, this system could be known as lots of things, like the Bandai Arcadia, or the Hanimex, and a few others. But we're going to play Space Vultures. Let's take a look at the box for Space Vultures. So cool. Is that the Millennium Falcon on the front? The box that I could find for the Emerson Arcadia was not actual scans. They're reconstructed boxes of the original. I'd love to know if someone really ripped off the Millennium Falcon, though, for Space Vultures. This game is looking like, oh yeah, they're taking part of the box of someone's information that's not an actual box. It's fake for such a rare system. So we flip over the cartridge on the back, though. That's an actual scan. 1-player game, even though there were 2 slots on the Emerson Arcadia 2001. Shoot them rapid fire, got you to watch out for missiles that are dropping, use the energy shield to protect yourself from being destroyed. Get all second scene appears with giant birds. Hit the wings, it becomes a small hawk. Freeze the game whenever necessary. You can also, yeah, no, they're doing what we saw in one of the other games on the Emerson. If you want to pause the game, you use the second player controller. It's not on the console. So you have 2 controllers plugged in and you use the second controller, and that's how you pause. Fun sound and color, fun for the whole family. Space Vultures. I don't think you're going to get Mom to play this one. All right, let's pop in and play Space Vultures. The beginning of May 1982 by UA Limited, published by Emerson Radio Corp. All right, so kind of like the Atari, when you pop in a game on the Emerson Arcadia 2001, you have options and selections on your system. No options, no selection. If I try selecting or trying different things, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't change it up. And it looks like there'd be a score right here for a second player. Nope, doesn't even have that. It is 1 player only. So whenever you're ready, push start, and we're in. We're playing a home console version of Phoenix. So if you're a fan of Phoenix, you can point out the similarities and differences. We got 2 planes flying out at the bottom. That was a little weird. I started offside the start field before coming back in. Very strange. We're getting a lot of flicker on the shots. But 2 enemies are moving around or flying. They can bomb us, but then we have some enemies at the top. Kind of like Space Invaders drones. Come on. There we go. Nice. So after we get through the first screen, we move on to... There they are. Now it feels like we're playing Phoenix. I went by so fast, and after that, yeah, it goes on to the next screen. So I want to know, the information said it didn't have the boss like it does in Phoenix? Let me check the information. No, yeah, it's just what we could read on the cartridge. And we didn't have the manual for this one, at least the one that I could find. We'll play a few screens. I'd like to know if this home version has the boss from Phoenix. Or is it just going to bounce back and forth between the two? Looks like it might. We haven't died yet. They're giving us additional firepower. I got about 2 or 3 shots there. Oh gosh, yeah, finish them off really fast. Looks like, yeah, two or 3 shots each before I can shoot again. Are they dying in a heart? This console is the release that it was in North America. And right now, the market in North America has the Atari VCS, the Intellivision, the Bally Astrocade, or Videocade now, the Magnavox Odyssey 2, quite a bit of consoles, but we're not done. We're going to get some more that are coming in too. So if you look at all the other consoles that were out there, this game isn't an incredibly amazing game you could play on a console as far as shooters go. Television's got some pretty good ones, Atari, of course, and Magnavox Odyssey. Yeah, they do die in hearts. All right, so if you are an Emerson Arcadia enthusiast and you're like, that really isn't the way that it looked or I remember it looking, it's possible it looked slightly different. So I'm going to try a different way. However, this one, I cannot monitor the volume, so it might be a little loud. Bear with me as we play Space Vultures, again, a slightly different way, possibly what it looked like when it first was released. Because the Starfield, I believe, had something else happening in the background to add to it. We're able to make out the pixels a little bit, and if you're only hearing the sound from one place, that's because the Emerson Arcadia was mono. It only was coming out one side if you had it plugged into your television. So just using a different emulator to get you an idea of what it may have looked like if the other one was not authentic. I'm not for sure. I just know this emulator, they were a very big fan of it. Notice they don't die in a heart shape either. Yeah, it feels like it's playing the exact same way as the other one. And I do like the extra firepower I get. I'm not having to fire one thing at a time. Not too shabby. All right, so that's Space Vultures. For all the games you can play on the console, it's, I'd say, around the average range. There are better Phoenix games. To tell you the truth, I'd rather play Phoenix for the Atari 2600 than this one for Space Vultures. So I'm willing to think it's about 3 stars. It's pretty average for 1982. Not really pushing anything higher or doing anything worse. There's other games that you could play that were better than this in 1982. Okay, yeah, Mark's with me. 3 stars. Oh, really? Going bad? I could see that as well. Too bad, Emerson. It didn't last very long. It wasn't a super popular console. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. Here we are on the Atari home computer. This is Starship Duel. Let's take a look at Starship Duel, starting with the artwork. Here's an advertisement flyer. New exciting space action. Tired of playing against the computer? Add this exciting 2-player arcade game to your software library. Players use joystick to fly starships and trigger to blast opponents out of the sky. Excellent graphics and sound effects. 4 different games in one. Only $20 on cassette by John Canopa. Also got another one. Has the same thing. Starship Duel. Yeah, 2-player game. 4 different games on this. It's in the top right. Needs $16K for this one. With a screenshot. All right, let's pop in that cassette and play Starship Duel. Released the beginning of May 1982 by John Canopa and PDI, Program Design Incorporated. All right, so we got to load this up. C-load is our magic command. We have the cassette there, and now we run. Starship Duel. They got an intro. Pretty cool for a $20 game. There you go, John Canopa. Let's see what you got. Plug joysticks into ports 1 and 3. Okay. That's pretty bizarre. The red trigger fires your laser. Lasers don't work near screen edges. Laser fires in the same direction that your ship is moving. It's a lot of text for information. When standing still, your laser won't fire. You have to hit your enemy ship at the very end of your laser fire. Wait, this is pretty specific, which means I wonder if it's not programmed as well. No, 16K is not a memory hog. The most we've seen up to this point is 64K. Gotta have 64K to play the top-of-the-line games. The number of shots you have left are shown in the color bars on the top and bottom of the screen. When the color bars are gone, your ship self-destructs and is replaced by another. You can replace your ammunition by hitting the X that keeps popping up. Is it going to another screen? Oh, it does. Okay, we gotta fast forward. Fast forward. There it is. All right, so it has 4 different game modes. We input 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's go game mode 1. And let's see what happens in Starship Duel. Okay, so very obscure control configuration. Ports 1 and 3, which means my second player joystick that's plugged in right now, it's not going to move. And there he is at the top left. So it's 2-player only, no computer you can play against. This is me moving around at the bottom. Looks like I have several other, well, that's weird, wraparound ships. I can go pick up, I can fire shots. There it is. Shots, yeah, don't go very far. I'm guessing you have to get right next to them. But it is 8-way shots. Once you run out of ammo, oh yeah, it starts to run low at the bottom of the screen. So it's another 2-player competitive game. Can I just walk over it? Or I gotta shoot it? Oh, I gotta shoot it. Where you have 2 players that are against each other head-to-head for a shooter. How bizarre. It's like a new genre, or a popular genre that's coming out. We've already seen a few games that are doing this. 1 player against another player, a competitive shooting genre. So you and your friend are basically pitted up against each other, like we saw in Stun Trap, and then the other one that we played a couple episodes ago. I still say Stun Trap is the best. Yeah, this one doesn't feel complete. It also doesn't give you a lot of... the firing doesn't feels off. I know it's 8-way to shoot, but I mean, look at this. It's a tiny little laser that flies out. And every time you die, yeah, those are your ships at the bottom, or your lives. You have that many lives, and the shots that are fired. All right, so I gotta say, while the other games we could play at the computer at the time, there's other ones that are better. And there are 2-player competitive shooters that are better. I'm gonna say it's a bad title. To play with 2 people would be a little fun, but yeah, it's not... Oh, Chiptune's going 2.5. For the competitive play, it would be enjoyable for a little bit to have someone else with you. Didn't have anybody this time, so the other ship would be moving around, and you'd have to chase each other to get the shots in, lots of lives. So you'd have some enjoyment there, but I'm still going to say, of all the games you could play on the home computer, 2 stars for Starship Duel. That is still a bad title. All right, let's press forward and see our next game. Here we go on the Commodore VIC-20. This is Super Alien. Yeah, Super Alien. Let's check out Super Alien, starting with the box. You're trapped in the alien maze. Your only defense is the alien buster. Fast action, it says. Now, the first release, or the majority of these releases, was done in Germany. And I found some that have English, but for everything I saw, it looked like Germany only for Super Alien. This one's a real treat on the Commodore VIC-20. We have a few different alternate versions you can see as both NTSC and PAL. Thanks, William Shatner. That's what I'm going to do next time I go to a Comic-Con. I'm just going to teleport in and teleport the computer in with the television. Makes it a lot easier. All right, let's pop in and play Super Alien for the Commodore VIC-20, the beginning of May 1982, in Germany. All right, to move around, we use the PL semicolon and period. Holes is A and D, or ignore all that and use the joystick or keys, which we're going to do. Plug in the VIC-20 joystick. Oh, I didn't finish instructions and it went right to it? Okay. Can I do anything now? No. So joystick doesn't pop us in the game, but what you're seeing is an attract mode for a very, very influential game. This is Hyonkyo Alien that we saw in the arcades. It was known later as Digging in the arcades. And it is essentially taking Pac-Man and making it one of the best variants of Pac-Man. that influenced Space Panic and then eventually Lode Runner. So lots of games stemmed from this one. And I didn't even know there was a computer port of it. But here we are in Germany with a computer port of Hyeonkyo Alien. That's what I'm going to do next time if I go to a Comic-Con. So I'll show you how the game works. Let's push F1. Let's go. This is really bizarre, too, because it kind of shows you how far we've come. If you check out the Hyeonkyo Alien in the arcade episode, it looks really close to this. Oh, we got one. Quick, get him, get him. Okay, so the way the game works is you're trying to dig holes, and if I dig a complete hole and catch one of the aliens in the hole... Oh, is he going to fall for it? No, it's not. Okay. If they go in the hole, then you want to trap them. Oh, he got me that time before I finished the hole. Darn. But the arcade looks just like this, and here we are playing on a home computer. Get it? Okay, we got him, and then close it up. Got it, and we get the points. Oh, we got another one. I don't think we're going to catch him, though. Yeah, we're too slow. The way they did the controls for the VIC-20 is pretty well done. All you have to do is hold down the one button on your VIC-20 controller, and while you're holding the button down, you go up to dig the hole. Oh, this isn't good. And then when you want to close it, you hold the button and hold down to dig the hole. So they made it work really well. Oh, you got me. Really, really fun game. Didn't know this came to the VIC-20. And you don't need to know German to play it. So we're going to get a few interactive fiction games that are in German only. I don't know how far we're going to get on those. In a way, it's kind of like a strategy game. You can see he's chasing me. Ah! But you can dig as many pits as you want. It looks like I got this one here. Go there, close the hole. Quick, quick, quick. Nice, got him. Okay, let's see. So you just set up your traps. See if the aliens can fall for the traps, and then close them up before they get out of there. That's the idea. And you have to think of when it first came out in the arcades, this is really fresh, like after Pac-Man. So Hyeonkyo Alien is a big influence on just video games in general. It's a top-down maze, but doing something very different. Oh, no! Oh, we got him. Okay, so you can see the aliens are random moving around. Nice, we got it. We'll do another one here. Okay, you didn't take that one. How about here? Oh, nope. If you don't finish the hole... Oh, yep, if you don't finish the hole, they kind of pause there. They get stuck. You have to be able to dig it all the way out, and then he'll get trapped inside. Come on, buddy. Take the bait. There it is. Then find it, hold the button down, and down on the joystick, and then captured. Next round, more aliens, and progressively gets more and more difficult. I think it's just so cool that how well this plays and looks just like the arcade. I don't remember the time frame. I think it was 79 when we saw it. No. Maybe it was 80 when we saw Hyeonkyo Alien. But big influence, big game changer. Let's go one more time. Yeah, the faster you burn them, your score will get... There's a bonus. So if one's captured in a hole, the faster you can get them dug up in the hole, then you get more points for it. So that basically means you could do this, just hang out by the hole, capture, and then... Yeah, so you get 300 points for that. Get another one started, and then you could do this, just trap yourself. Go, go, go. Oh, he got out too fast. Got me. All right, it didn't work. My plan didn't work. There's a few strategies you could try in this one. If you're used to playing a Pac-Man game, it's a different experience. It's not just move around, get a power pellet. You have to play it differently than that. And I love it. Oh, no. Okay, wait. No. He's faking me out. There he is. Got him. Nice. Well, that's true. The sound, I believe, is pretty faithful to what was in the arcade. But, you know, we're thinking 1980 arcade, which is way before music. I couldn't wouldn't fault it because here on the channel we don't have as much music or video games or sound effects for games. So when sound does get annoying or bad, I just say at the time, just turn the volume down or turn it off. That's true. It is the exact same thing over again. Nothing to be desired as far as music, but at this point, video games, we're not having a category for music. There is no the best music of 1982 was, you know, it's very rare. I mean, in 1981, I'd say the best music game we played was Fantasy in the arcade because it had 10 screens and every single screen had a different sound, a song associated with it. But I'm talking 8 bars of a song, and they looped over and over and over again. That's true. Always in perspective. We are here in 1982. Are you going to take the bait? All right, well, forget you guys. I'm going home. So that's Super Alien. So cool that you can play this at home. Is it one of the best computer games you could play at the time? No, I wouldn't say it was one of the best. I did say it's a very excellent title, though, for something that you could play on a home computer. And this is the very first time that Hyonkyo Alien would be able to be played at home. Space Panic, of course, got Apple Panic, and then was all computers all over the place. But Hyonkyo Alien, I don't think we had anything we could play at home. Yeah, so Mark's going to say 4 stars. I'm going to say myself, this is an excellent game to play on your home computer. So I'm going to go 4 stars for Super Alien. Check it out. Especially play it yourself. It's always more fun to get the gameplay in the palm of your hands. 3.5 for you, yes. Punk Rock's going 4. So cool. Take it from William Shatner. Well, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Lots more games to play in 1982. If you could go back to this time, let me know in the comments on our 5-star rating scale what you would rate all these games. That's it for today, and like I always say, if at first you don't succeed, just level up for a little bit and try again. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.